Yes, Planet's Cass Barkerman here with Sam RattlesnK from mousesports international team, I guess. Coming into DreamHack Winter 2012, you signed 2 Norwegians. Could you tell us a bit about the whole thing going on with Huxi and release? Why did you decide to release them from the contracts?
It wasn't necessarily us releasing them from the contracts. It was just, as a team, we couldn't get enough time to be able to practice and everything like that. So after ESWC, we just decided that as a team we needed to do something about it because we could never get on at the same time. So that's probably what I'd put up that loss down to. And also at the time, Pete couldn't get his internet sorted, so we weren't able to play with him, and we had to use a Merc in Rich. And then after that, it was that Lewis couldn't was working and stuff like that for about 3 days in the week, and then Dan was going out because he's at university and stuff on Wednesday nights and Fridays. So we basically couldn't practice even 1 day a week. So we ended up deciding that the best way was that either they needed to stop. Lewis has to work, but there was one other day, or maybe 2, that he didn't have to, and he wasn't willing to give that up. So it was kind of like, well, we can't do anything about it. And then with Dan, he just wanted to go out and party basically, so that's his choice. And yeah, then we got Craven and Lassie in because I've known Lassie for ages in Source, so it wasn't just randomly picking him up out of nowhere. It was deciding that Lassie's probably one of the best Source players that I've played with, so we'll get him. And then Craven, obviously, he's played for NYM with Element and Nikon, Dave, and top players before, so we knew he wouldn't sort of stress out under all the pressure and stuff like that.
Personally, I've always followed mousesports, and I've always followed a lot of you guys, but lately, as I've seen, you have had some problems, really breaking through. It's been so close every time, and still you haven't really managed to make the final cut. How frustrating has it been, to always be so close, but never really close enough?
What do you mean, online so far in CS:GO?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just generally it's been because of a lack of practice, really. I mean, we've all wanted to do as well as we can, and sort of thought in our heads if we could be one of the best teams, but we've never really gone about and actually done it. And it's just been quite difficult because I'm studying at university again now and things like that, so I do that full time, and then I've got a job on the weekends, and we can't really practice as much as we'd like to, but that's really why. I think Copenhagen Games we did alright in CSS, and we played a CS:GO show match there, and it was just, I mean, people were probably trying to judge us off that, saying the 1.6 teams were better, but we turned up and they wouldn't let us put the def adder drivers on the computers, and they blamed us for it. And then it got to about 3-4 AM in the morning and stuff, so no one really cared about that. So I don't think so far we're that disappointed. It's just this tournament for us was make or break, really, and just happy to get through the group, really.
Yeah, and getting through the group, you had a good group stage run. Could you just talk us through the group stage ups and downs?
Yeah, against ESC we were pretty nervous before the game because we knew that they'd been practicing, and we probably played for about 2-3 weeks before the event, and then this weekend just before the LAN we played, I think, about 25 hours in a row, and that was our main sort of practice to get everything finished off and done. But a week or 2 before that we probably played 2-3 days in the evening for 5 hours each. So I mean, everyone's saying other teams haven't practiced as much. It's well, we haven't played too much either, but I think it should be enough because I've done all the strats in CSS and they're the same in CS:GO, so in general it's been easier for us probably than other teams to sort of adjust to the game. Yeah, and then when we played NIP, obviously, we sort of got off to a bad start because the pistol round, the guy defused the bomb, and yeah, no one shot him, and I don't know why, because we had about 2-3 guys on the bomb site. We managed to sort of go down, I think 8-2 or something like that, and crawled a few rounds back. And then for the second half, I think it got to 15-11 or something like that, and we just managed to scrounge a few rounds back, and we were just playing exactly the same as we were. We just started picking up more rounds. So.
But obviously you are through to the playoffs, so well, all good, I guess. Do you know who you can actually face in the playoff stage? Who's like?
I've been told by the admins that it's just random out of a hat, that from any of the other groups or anything, they're just going to basically just pick a team. So all the first people from the other groups are the ones we're going to play. So whereas first in B, C and D, I think any of them teams we can play, but we can't play NIT. So I mean, obviously that's a good thing for us because they're probably the best team here.
So looking at the other groups, now that you have to face the #1 team from any from one of the other groups, who would you like to face if you could like pick and choose, so to speak?
I don't think I'd particularly choose anyone, but I don't really want to play very games just because of the history and stuff, and they kind of know how we play, and yeah, I just think they'll probably be one of the other strong teams. There's no particular team I'd pick, but I'd probably want to play, I think it's someone out of Group B or D probably. Yeah. I don't mind playing the Americans either, because I think their style sort of, they just try and get a lot more picks and things like that, which would suit us more than a team that's really drilled and doing all their strats and smokes and flashes perfectly, because it's really annoying trying to up against a team that's just flashing you in the face and avoiding you and things like that. Yeah.
So yeah, just before wrapping this one up, Pia Ben and Stinger, your new players, how do you think they have performed during this event so far?
Yeah, I think they've been solid. I mean, Praven in the first game, I think he had like 20 kills or something, so fragging wise he's been getting a few kills, and Lassie, just as always, consistent, just one of the top players I think. I actually saw on, I think it was like a Dream Team thing, that Pete and Lassie were like meant to be some of the worst players by like some rating thing, and it was just a bit of a joke really. I mean, obviously they might have played bad in one online games, but then to people to underestimate them and think they're going to be bad is just a bit silly really. So yeah, I think all of our players have played well, and hopefully we can do it in the next game.
Yeah, I wish you good luck with that. Any final words for sponsors, fans?
Just thanks to all our sponsors who's made it possible for us all to come here basically, and yeah, hopefully in the future we can bring some more great results.
Yeah, I surely hope so. To all of you out there, do stay tuned to esplant.net for more coverage of the DreamHack Winter 2012.